Hey guys and gals, it's Tripl-L, and now let's talk about Jesus, I was gonna say My Hero Academia. No, Little Witch Academia. There we go. Little Witch. That's what we're talking about. I'm back. Hello. Let's get into it. The episode 21. So, Little Witch Academia happened, and this episode is one of the plot-heavy episodes. We're investigating things having to do with the words, and we're getting all kinds of nice little backstory revelations. We see a flashback. Overall, a pretty fun, kind of plot-heavy episode. Now, specific things I want to talk about in this particular episode have to do with Kroa, her general motivations, Akko's behavior and Akko's flaws, and also Ursula's behavior and Ursula's flaws. This is an episode where really the drama between the characters is what's pushing the episode along, and it's ultimately what's the main point of the episode, kind of holding it all together. So let's start off with Kroa first. So Kroa, we start the episode off with getting a little bit of a premising from Andrew. Andrew's just saying that he wants to return Akko's hat. I think that's adorable. For the record, I thought the last two episodes that focused on Diana, I thought they were very adorable episodes, and it's cool to see Diana really happy. Well, not happy, but it's cool to see her caring about Akko a bit more in this episode. That said, we start the episode up and how people are like rioting over a soccer match. Hey, it happens in the real world, so I'm not even going to complain about that happening in their world. And then we get the segue into the app. The emotion app. I don't remember its full name, but the emotion app. And you know, this is just a little thing on technicality here. I think had the creators just left it at that, you know, maybe even left it at seeing the giant ball or the small ball in the sky watching the situation, I think that would have been fine. It would have added a bit more mystery to what exactly Kroa is doing, because you know, when they show the screen and they show that she's like extracting red information from them or red energy from them, everything becomes really obvious. Oh my god, okay, I get it. Kroa is doing the thing. She's probably making them angrier than they are. They're playing this emotion app that they're told or they think makes them feel better, but it's actually just drawing on their anger, maybe even feeding it, maybe even stoking their anger a little bit. You know, I think the show could have done well with just leaving it a bit more subtle instead of just showing Kroa doing her thing and extracting the information. I think just leaving it there would have been good enough on a technicality point. Again, you know, it's not a big deal. It's just a little thing, like a little thing in the in the sequencing of the show. Moving on and talking more about Kroa's activities in this episode, she's playing a really weird card here. We know overall she cares about Chariot. That is a fundamental truth that we can see in this episode, but at the same time, she also seems to want to hurt her in all ways possible. She talks about why she still messes around with Akko, the reason being that Akko is Ursula's last hope. That is the girl that's keeping Ursula happy, and so, you know, she's painting a really interesting picture, right? We see that when Ursula's falling, she doesn't want Ursula to die. Instead, she wants her alive. That's most likely her friendship still in there. Like, at the end of the day, these girls are probably going to reconcile. Like, that's a fact to me. That's going to happen. But it's just interesting to see the situation, because ultimately, after you have that sequence where Kroa is trying to save Ursula, you come to the conclusion here, and when you like kind of compare it with the fact that Kroa is actively hurting Akko, and that she didn't really care whether or not Akko was going to fall, and that she does want to mess with Akko, you come to the realization that Kroa cares about Ursula enough that she doesn't want her to die, but she also hates Ursula enough that she wants to make her suffer. You know, like at this point, picking on Akko is really just she's doing that just to hurt Ursula. It's like she wants to see Ursula crumble. She wants to see her cry, you know. So I like that, you know. I like that she's very sadistic, and I like that she has some lines that she's not willing to cross. And because her behavior towards Akko is still mildly vague, like it's antagonistic, but we really don't know if Kroa would let Akko die, but we can assume she would at this point. You know, it's just very interesting. It's interesting that Kroa draws the line and she doesn't want to kill Ursula, but she just wants Ursula to like suffer every single day of her life. I think that's what the perspective that Kroa is ultimately showing us, the viewers. And man, Kroa is so good at messing with Akko and Ursula. Like, she's so good at stoking the flames. The girl, like, Jesus, she's such a good manipulator. And the thing is here, Kroa wouldn't be as effective had Akko or Ursula not been so flawed in the ways they are. Like Akko in this episode is just reinforcing Akko's biggest problem is that she wants to be like Chariot, to the point that it's very dogmatic. Like this poor girl is blinded by the sight of seeing Chariot. Like that's her dream and it blinds her to everything else. To the point that she says some really mean things to Ursula in this episode, but that's resolved. And Ursula on the other side, she keeps doing her thing of she's not communicating with Akko. She withholds information from Akko. Look, a lot of this could be just solved if she said, hey, I'm his Chariot. I went through a lot of bad times and now I'm here. I know it's the whole pride thing, like you don't want to like ruin the girl's dreams, but at this point people are getting hurt, people might be killed, and you're also letting Kroa get away with whatever she wants to do. You know, it's just some irresponsibility on Ursula's side. This episode does leave a really interesting question though. The question being, what exactly did people lose when they got hit by that pollen? You know, we have Ursula pleading when she's saving Akko to not take away Akko's future, and we see the flashback with Kroa and Ursula, and I wonder, did Kroa lose something when they went to that tree? Did Ursula lose something? I was gonna say that maybe Ursula, that's why she lost her confidence, but then you look at the flashback, it happened when they were kids. So, you know, it's pretty hard to tell, but maybe Kroa lost some capacities to use magic. We haven't seen Kroa flying on a normal broom. Maybe she can't. Who knows? We don't know. It's just going to be very interesting if there was some kind of loss in that flashback and we didn't see it. It might be interesting if we find that out in like the next couple of episodes. Now, I really want to harp on Akko here just because Akko is like slightly infuriating in this episode. You know, like when Akko's at her worst, she's at her worst, and when she's at her best, like yeah, this is tolerable. But for Akko in this episode, you know, just the disregard for Ursula and just going along with Kroa's just general words, I do wonder if Akko's going to be suspicious of Kroa come next episode. I haven't seen the preview, so I don't know if that's actually out there and that's what's happening in the next episode, but I do wonder, is she gonna be suspicious of Kroa? My gut feeling is probably not really. Like Kroa's gonna say something like, oh, I made a mistake, and Akko's gonna believe it. Why? Because Kroa says that Chariot is cool. That opinion will save Kroa from Akko's prejudice or her judgment in general. But I do wonder, because in this episode, you know, Akko gets attacked by a giant snake thing. Akko sees it. Then she sees this, like, she's seen the devices that Kroa has around, right? She should, like, it gets really tough because the characters, we don't know how they're interpreting the monsters that attack them. We don't know if they're like drawing comparisons between this event and their past events dealing with these similar type of monsters. That part's kind of infuriating because the viewer knows just by looking at the design of that monster that it's related to every other monster that had popped up that has, well, every other Kroa related monster. The viewer knows that very easily and the characters don't. It's just, that's kind of infuriating. To wrap up this video, we now have a better sense of what exactly is going to cause the city to go on fire, what exactly is going to cause the riot. It's going to be Kroa's app. We have a better sense of where we're going. I think we're at the 5th word. We have only... Wait, we got the 5th word the last episode. We're at the 6th word. We only have 1 word left. This is it, guys. We're in the home stretch now. It was Leon's. I think it was Leon's, and I went and I tried to find a definition for it, and really the closest thing was just a lion. The episode seems to be talking about acceptance, so that seems to be the general meaning of the word, or I was gonna say like maybe even bravery, courage, but whatever, we got the word. I'm pretty excited to see where we go from now. Akko and Andrew are gonna have an episode, most likely. They're gonna have to meet up again at some point. Yeah. Hopefully next episode Kroa's doing stuff, and hopefully Ursula's willing to talk to Akko a bit more. But yeah, we'll have to see. Anyway, guys, a very quick video, but that's pretty much it for me. It was a fun episode. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought down below, and let me know if you have anything else to say. Thanks, and until next time, I hope you have a very great day.